This has been a tremendous opportunity to visit Israel. It's really a dream come true. I mean, this is something my wife and I have talked about for many years, traveling here to the Holy Land, to be here in the holiest city in the world. To be here and to see things firsthand, I think is so critically important. I mean, as Dr. Frager said, you know, it was just July 1st that I was elected chairman of the Republican Party of the state of New York. After the incumbent had been in that office for a decade. I come from Buffalo, New York, in upstate, and my exposure to Jewish culture is minimal where I come from. And I have been so welcomed into this job by some great individuals. Josh Eisen's here, John Birkin, who's not on the trip with us, but also Dr. Frager. I can't thank you enough for that hospitality and to help educate me. And I thought no better way for me to demonstrate the commitment that this party will have to the state of Israel and to the safety and security of the Jewish people, not only in New York, but across the country, than for me to, in the first month of my tenure, to travel to Israel as part of this important delegation. And I want to thank Hove Zion for the opportunity to be on this trip, and Dr. Frager for all the great work that you do. Let's give him a round of applause. There's a lot of reasons this is very important to me in the mission that I have of building a Republican Party in New York State that is competitive, that has the opportunity to win and elect officials again. New York State being the most Jewish state in the United States of America, that is a critical bond that New York State has with Israel. And it's one that needs to be highlighted because we have, unfortunately, it's a dark time in our country because we have members of Congress perpetuating anti-Semitism. And I felt it critically important to, within my acceptance speech of my election, to condemn the anti-Semitic rhetoric of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and many other members of Congress in that organization. We cannot tolerate the anti-Semitic behavior, the minimization of the Holocaust. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to what I'm sure will be a transformational experience tomorrow going to Yad Vashem. And I'd challenge Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to get on an airplane and come over here with us and go to Yad Vashem tomorrow so that she can see firsthand that maybe you shouldn't, run your mouth so much about things that you don't understand. And I think we have far too much of that going on in the halls of Congress. We have to take these issues seriously, and we have to fight back. And I'm very proud of Congressman Lee Zeldin in the work he's done calling out the anti-Semitic behavior in the Congress. And I think the best way that I can help is to help elect members of Congress that understand the relationship between Israel and the United States is an unbreakable bond. And then some of them are here with us tonight. Electing Nicole Malliotakis to the U.S. Congress in the 11th District is a critical important. The incumbent member that, she's going to defeat in 2020 has never addressed the anti-Semitism in his own conference. If they can't do that, how can they effectively, be a partner with Israel? And Claudia Tenney, we need to send her back to Congress from upstate New York, central New York. We need to find like-minded people to go to Congress. Perhaps Josh Eisen will go to Congress. We'll see. But we need to send members of Congress to Washington that understand. We need to put pressure on those members of Congress, even those Jewish members of Congress, that have turned a blind eye to anti-Semitism. And we have to, Nicole was joking with me, one of the lines in my acceptance speech is, we're done playing patty cake in the Republican Party in the state of New York. And that's a lesson I took, thank you. That's a lesson I take from our President Donald Trump, because there is a leader that, no president in U.S. history has had a stronger bond and done more for the state of Israel, and that relationship is there for all of us to see. But he has been tough enough to take on the established interests. He's not intimidated by pressures put on him by people that don't want to see this country go in the right direction and don't have Israel's safety and security at the forefront of their mindset. I truly support our president every single step of the way, and was very proud. I'm very proud to be his home state Republican Party chairman going into his 2020 reelection. And we have the election probably the greatest concern in the history of our republic in the United States in front of us in 2020. You have the choice on the table of free market capitalism and freedom of our economy versus socialism that's failed everywhere it's been tried. That is a legitimate question before the voters in 2020. It's the reelection of our president is so critically important to keeping stability in the United States, keeping our economy as strong as can be, and for the safety and security of the state of Israel. But we will work day and night, to help get this president reelected and keep things on track. We will work very hard to put good people in Congress that understand the critical issues. And, today was a very remarkable day. I mean, the 36 hours I've been on the ground here in Israel, I mean, these are experiences I will never forget in my life. And I can't thank Dr. Frager enough for making this possible. And Ken Abramowitz, thank you so much for the education you gave me today as we traveled down towards Gaza. But to see signs that tell native citizens that you're taking your life in your own hands to go to a certain neighborhood, this is something that we don't understand as Americans, and it was so important for me to see things with my own eyes and to see the proximity that people live within danger to their way of life. We take so much for granted as Americans, but to be here in Israel, to go and to be as close as we were to Gaza, to talk to members of the IDF and to listen to their experiences and to watch them train. These are experiences I will never forget, and I think I would encourage anyone involved in public life in the United States of America that they need to take this trip to Israel. It's so important. So I want to thank you for the hospitality you've given me. I want to thank you for being such strong advocates and to help educate so many of us that are here for the first time. Because this is my first trip to Israel, but I can assure you this won't be my last. So thank you very much.